This episode of the Walt podcast is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is a completely free podcasting tool that allows you to create your very own podcast for no money whatsoever.
You know who should have a podcast? It's me, Yogi.
Oh my god, Gorgie, no, what are you doing here?
Yogi heard that people love his voice, so he wants to project it to the world on Apple Music, and iTunes, and Spotify, and Stitcher, and all the places where podcasts are distributed.
Oh my god, Gorgie, no, nobody wants to hear you talk.
Yogi can even make money on his podcast with the Anchor's free sponsorship program.
Wait, you're gonna get paid for this too?
Yes, and it's all possible with Anchor and their free creation tools.
Oof, okay, well, I'll bite. What's your podcast gonna be called, Gorgie?
It's gonna be Yogi Gets It. Available on all podcast platforms thanks to Anchor.
Well, you've heard it here first. Go to Anchor.fm to get started. Download the free Anchor app, and you can make your own podcast. Anchor. It's so easy, even Gorgie can do it.
Yogi!
Chip and Dale must reunite and return to the spotlight after nearly 30 years of begging to sign autographs at cartoon conventions.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle, Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 176.
we're only on 176.
We're still
Only.
doing this.
Yeah,
I thought we were in the 180s.
not yet. We'll be there shortly.
We're only in the 170.
I
Only
think,
in the
I think
170s.
my brain and my body are confused because we're like front loading, recording a lot of these before
Right.
our child comes.
A little behind the magic.
And I'm like, what are we on?
Yes, this is episode 176.
So what do you think we'll get to by our 5-year anniversary?
Oh my.
I don't
Wait,
wanna
when is the
know.
5-year anniversary?
In October?
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Oh, darn.
You like how me and Andre know this and Michelle and Luis are like,
We'll probably be at
In the one
2 something.
at 2 something by October? No, not if we do every other week. We might get to 200
Yeah, you're right. I think
by
we'll
the
be
end of the year.
in like 190s or something like that. I don't know.
Wild.
Anyway, that's the future. This week we are talking about
Well, we are
the
technically in the future.
brand
right now.
new 2022 Disney Plus original film Chip and Dale: Rescue Rangers.
Ooh.
Come on, chill out. Coming in hot with the negativity. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Chip and
You
Dale.
have to sing it
can
like
you
it
stop
was.
doing that with your hand? It's really inappropriate.
Chip and Dale.
Oh, you're milking a cow. All right.
Yeah,
So
a
before
cow.
we get started, as per usual, we gotta Louise a question. I don't know.
All right, guys. So, if you could purchase anything in the world, one single entity,
Okay.
What do you mean?
and money was not an issue,
Like a one item thing.
An
Entity.
item?
An
What do you
entity.
mean an entity? I don't know what
So
it means.
like a company or a car or a house.
Franchise.
Or yes.
not a company, because that's not an entity.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure it is an entity, but
If I
okay.
could buy
No.
one thing.
It has many, so it's not one entity.
Okay.
For example, you can't just buy all of McDonald's because it has many all over.
I see.
So again, one
buy
entity.
one.
What
But
would
I
it
could
be?
buy one
And it can be
McDonald's.
anything that you want. Money's
Because
not
they're
an issue. What would it be?
independently owned and operated.
Money is not an issue.
What do I want? I mean, I want it all. Let's be
Who
real.
doesn't?
You know? I want everything. But if I had just one thing that I could blow a ton of money on,
I would buy. I would buy the. I'm flipping and flopping between two things, and I
Okay.
can't decide which one I would buy
Okay.
more. But it's definitely a vacation home.
Oh.
But it's either I would buy like a huge, like literally huge, crazy vacation home in like the Caribbean, or I would just buy the entire suite that's inside the Disney World castle, and like that's mine. Sorry, everybody, I bought it.
interesting.
That's
Can't
mine.
go there now. It's one or the other. But it is in Florida, so I could just go to the beach.
Now I'm getting outlandish. Hang on a second.
But it would be like a vacation home for me, like in the Caribbean or something, like a crazy one. Like there's like I got a pirate boat. I can like rope jump off of my house. It's wild.
But it's
A
one
pirate
thing, though.
boat.
It's like clear.
Pirate boat is another thing.
No, it's part
It's
of her
part of my
vacation.
vacation home.
One entity. Same
It's
reason why I
built
can't.
in.
One entity.
It's on the side of the house. You can't ride the pirate boat. It's a pirate boat on the
So
house.
it's a pirate home?
It might be.
Okay.
Home of the pirates.
I know what I'm gonna buy.
It's one of those things, but I just don't remember.
I get to buy one thing. All right. It becomes mine. And I get to reap the profits.
Yeah.
So I am going to buy the Statue of Liberty. It's mine. Thanks.
What?
Yeah.
You're reaping the profits off a statue?
Well, they do a lot of tours and stuff like that over there, so I'm gonna take that money.
You didn't think that one through, did you?
I don't have to do anything. They running it,
So Andre wants Ellis Island.
I don't need the whole island. I just want the statue.
Why?
The statue is mine.
Mine was better.
Your vacation home with a pirate ship?
Yeah, or the Disneyland castle.
Dude, you're that one little pirate guy on Nickelodeon. What's his name? The little Hispanic kid.
I don't remember his name.
You know what I'm
But I think I
right?
know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. But it's mine. So people come
Well,
in.
you guys are married, so you have a vacation home and you have
Oh,
the Statue of
nice.
Liberty.
Nice.
Apparently, in one of the
finding loopholes.
apparently in a Peppa Pig episode, I've never seen it, but they come to America, as they call it,
America.
and they see the Statue of Liberty, and she thinks the top of the Statue of Liberty is like the torch is an ice cream cone.
Okay.
Oh.
So Adeline
Understandable.
thinks that it's an ice cream cone on the Statue of Liberty, and I tried to
Nice.
explain to her what it was, and she was like, "It's an ice cream cone, Mom."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay.
So you just bought an ice cream
Listen,
cone.
I bought one of the biggest and most visited ice
Why
cream
didn't you
cones.
buy the Eiffel Tower, the Taj Mahal, or something cooler?
Because Andre will be making estimated $263.2 million a year.
Thank
you can buy whatever you
very
want,
much.
honey.
Thank you very much. Also, that's all domestic money. I don't gotta have any kind of crazy shipping tax fees.
Oh
from
yeah, dude.
Buying something
you know
in
what
France.
you're gonna do? You're gonna have to put your taxes in the Cayman Islands, Michelle. Good luck with that.
Have fun.
When good old
Offshore
Uncle
accounts.
Sam come after you.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
that
out here
there's
living
U.S.
on-
Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, so I might be fine. Just for that, I'm gonna
That's
put
where
my
your house
vacation
is?
home on one of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Gotcha.
All right.
Emily,
That might work.
what would you purchase?
I have no idea. I'm sitting here just like floundering.
Well, you want to think? I'll go ahead and answer. What
Okay.
do you think? I don't know what the name of that painting is.
Painting?
What's it called, Ems?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to look
Like
it up.
Frida Kahlo?
What is it?
No, it's it's by Henri Toulouse-Lautrec, and Luis has wanted this thing forever.
I can't
think
spell
it's like.
any of that.
Hold on, I got it right here. Maybe.
Henri de
First off, I'm going to
Toulouse-Lautrec.
say Toulouse-Lautrec is my favorite painter of all time.
Only
So-
because I introduced you to him.
Toulouse.
It's called Le Chat Noir.
All of a sudden, I wasn't watching French
Oh, it's the
films.
black cat.
Oh, the cat.
All of a sudden, I wasn't watching cultured French films before I met you. And
I don't
didn't
know.
know about him.
You didn't though.
Better yet.
So
you're
when
right.
I read,
Technically speaking, I did not know about him. I knew about his work. I just didn't know it was him.
let's be honest, people. Every
Okay.
time we record, we're sitting underneath
Yeah.
a really bad rendition of a Toulouse-Lautrec painting that I
That is
did
the one
in
lie
college.
I've ever heard you say in this world. So,
It's
Be
a,
quiet.
It's a Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Luis
concert
loves that
battle.
picture.
He painted a lot of like brothel-y type things,
Gotcha.
you know, during the Moulin Rouge era. What is that? The French.
Oh, this is what I want. I googled Le Chat Noir, and it brought me an Amazon link to a poster for $10. I wanted to know the worth of the painting.
Dude, it took us like 2 hours trying to figure out the worth of the painting.
So
and
FYI,
we
that's
could
what
not.
I would buy. I would buy the Le Chat Noir original.
The
painting.
bad thing about that is then you would have to buy a lot of home security, and because if you bought it, people would be trying to steal it from you.
If you buy it, they will come.
And, you
And
don't
isn't it one of those things where like art is for everybody? It should be in like the Louvre or something.
Museum.
No.
Wow.
Anything else? They could take Van Gogh's one-sided ear. They could take all the starry nights. Okay, I'm keeping this.
That's just so rude. The sunflower.
Okay, I'll even go on like an epic mission to try to find the lost Rembrandt.
Rembrandt.
That's what I said, Rembrandt.
What if I bought a mermaid?
Rembrandt.
I will find the lost Rembrandt and the lost Fabergé egg.
Oh.
Okay.
And then I keep this, dude.
Okay.
Luis took it off the deep end
I think I'm
there.
winning with mine so far, although you made a lot of money on yours.
Thank you.
But it helps pay for my thing, maybe.
Dude,
I can get the pirate ship now.
It's cool.
that's all I want.
It's
now
a cool
now I
painting.
can make the pirate ship move.
Love this damn.
Emily, what do you
The
gonna buy?
pirate ship move.
What if you bought in like the Catholic Church? Like you bought.
You,
Like you
Why?
bought. I don't know.
Now wait, we said one entity, right?
that
That's
I don't
the thing,
know.
right? Like what?
Buying
Where
the
the Pope
Catholic
lives? Where
Church?
did we go? The
Vatican.
Vatican. Yeah, what if you just bought the Vatican?
I don't
That's
think.
worth a lot of money.
Hello, Mr. Pope. I'd like to buy the Vatican.
That doesn't work like that.
And there's nothing you or God can
You
do
could
about
buy the highest level of Scientology possible and become Tom Cruise.
it. Well,
I don't wanna. They do some weird stuff.
I'd be several levels higher than Tom Cruise. You know?
Oh snap!
Yeah, that's what I was about.
I don't
Buy,
know.
Emily.
You're gonna have to
I
give
was
me
just
some
giving
time
you
on
some
this.
ideas, but
I'm not gonna buy the Vatican. Oh my gosh.
Let's see, is there like an exotic animal that you want, or a
oh yeah, you want to be like Tiger
or
King?
some kind of
Wanna buy a mermaid
let's
unicorn.
see, some kind of structure. I was thinking, I was like, do I want the Statue of Liberty? Do I want the Empire State Building? What big thing can I get? But I figured that the Statue of Liberty made a little bit more money than the Empire State Building.
So I was just thinking of I want a beach house,
Yeah.
which I'll never be able to.
I would
afford.
say the Great Wall of China, but it needs to stay
Oh.
there.
I mean, that's okay. It stays where it stays, but you own it. You know, you can put your face all over it.
I want Mount Rushmore, and I want my face carved into it.
Bruh,
Okay.
my face is definitely going on the Statue of Liberty. Right? Like, I'm not
Your
changing.
nose-
I'm not
Can you
changing.
imagine the face?
I'm not changing her face. She will remain the same, but my face is on there somewhere. All right, I'm a little Easter egg.
Just give her your nose.
Superimpose over her face.
Yeah, little green Andre just hanging out of her armpit or something like that.
Oh.
Stop.
They go up there, people looking at the binoculars, they're like, oh snap, and then the tour guide things over the earphones. They're like,
What if I bought the?
small picture you're seeing is actually the owner of the Statue of Liberty.
What if I bought the moon? Like I just own the moon.
I also thought about buying the moon. Moon don't make no money, but but very cool to own
But
the
then
moon.
I could charge.
You're
people
like
to go there.
Gru from Despicable Me.
I mean, yeah, you could charge people to go
You can't
there.
go on my moon. It's my moon.
That's true. But then,
Come at me, Elon.
yeah, there's only a couple people trying to go to the
I'll
moon.
buy NASA.
I'll
no.
buy-
But Louis said you can't buy a company.
Well, then maybe you should be able to.
She's over here.
Sure, NASA's not for sale. It's a
NASA.
government
Yeah, it's like a
Well, she's
government
trying to buy the Catholic
He just
Church.
said, he
And the
just
moon.
said it's an entity, and didn't he say I could buy an entity?
You can't buy
That's
the
true.
government, homie.
He didn't say anything about that.
She's
I buy
trying.
America.
You can't buy religion either.
She's
I
trying to buy the Vatican.
I tried.
I tried to buy the Pope Mobile.
Oh, the Pope. Which Pope Mobile? We've learned
There's
that
so many.
so many
A
of
lot,
them.
yeah.
The newest one.
They're all
Hey.
Mercedes, aren't they?
Give me the 2030 Pope
Emily,
Mobile.
buy
I
a
want that
time
one.
machine. Buy a time machine.
They don't exist, homie.
It has to exist.
You don't.
Hey,
There's no tie-dye.
It might be real. Buy a dinosaur.
buy a dinosaur.
Stop with that noise.
Wait, do the clicking dinosaur sound from we saw Jurassic World last night.
The raptor one.
Yeah.
When they're signaling their friends, they go like.
I'm sitting next to him on the couch, and this is very disturbing.
I'm busting through the
I
levels.
was telling
too.
Andre that I was teaching Olivia dinosaur noises, but apparently it sounded like The Grudge. And
It did.
but that's what they sound like.
How do you know?
Yeah, that's what they sound like on the movie.
It's what Steven said it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right.
Steven Spiel's.
Well, Emily,
I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm sorry.
Okay, let
This
us
one
know.
is hard.
That's okay. You know, we'll come back later in the episode and find out what you want to buy. But listeners, let us know what you would buy with unlimited money, any entity. I'm very curious as to your answers. Don't be trying to steal mine, okay? This is my Statue of Liberty, there, son. All right?
If I say it last, is it mine?
It's a Statue of Liberty, but, liberty ain't free. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be buying my stuff.
This is capitalism, baby.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It's a little gross. Maybe I'll lower the fees,
No.
for coming to the Statue of Liberty.
No,
Just a little bit.
I thought we were making money for once in our life.
We're gonna make some money. I'm not gonna lower it that much.
Still gonna make a couple million.
Yeah. We're gonna be good.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to this question. Listeners, hit us up at the Walt Vault Pod. Okay, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
The Eiffel Tower probably makes more money than the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, but she has international fees.
International fees and taxes. Buckingham Palace.
Ooh, you should buy the queen.
Dude, that one might.
I don't think I can buy the queen.
That's not a good investment at this point. She probably got like 4 years left.
Oh,
tops,
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Sorry, Your Majesty, but
Come on, they just
You know?
had you done got bought.
yeah. You know what you can't buy? Immortality. That's what you can't buy. Okay.
Jesus.
Sorry. She's been doing it for a while. Anyway,
She been doing it.
she's been doing it for a while. She's been queening it up. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't my final answer. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Chip and Dale.
Just buy what's that soccer team Luis likes?
USA.
Yeah.
Liverpool?
That was
Just
a
buy
joke.
Liverpool.
No, man.
Oh, she could buy the team.
Yeah. I'd buy the team.
It's definitely a purchasable thing. You know?
Can I buy Ted Lasso?
No, it doesn't exist.
Well, I don't know.
Buy the
about
show?
that.
It's a good show.
It's a good
It's
show.
actually a really good show.
I've only seen like a couple episodes, and then my Apple TV subscription expired, and I didn't. I gotta buy a new iPhone before I can watch that show again.
Anywho, moving along.
Moving along.
We did watch a movie this week.
Yes, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Try not to think about it.
This is
It's brand new, yeah.
It's brand new.
Brand new.
This movie is directed by Akiva Schaffer, whose name you probably haven't heard of, but you might know of him from The Lonely Island. Him and Andy Samberg and another guy.
I'm on a boat.
Yes. They sang all of those songs from SNL.
I threw it on the ground.
Yep, that's one.
We went down a Lonely Island train, I feel like a couple years ago.
Correct.
It was a great day.
I don't know if I can say this on the podcast. In my pants, that was a pretty good one. Just chill out. You got to bleep myself. Calm down.
In my pants.
Lonely Island is great. Yeah.
Yes. So
Open up my window and a breeze came in.
But yeah,
I just ate a grape.
I don't know. I'm on a boat is classic.
Yes, I'm on a boat with featuring T-Pain. So yes.
I'm on a boat.
Yes, the mind of Akiva Schaffer is who directed this movie, and it stars Andy Samberg, who also of The Lonely Island, and John Mulaney, whose voice you might recognize from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He was Spider-Ham. He's also
Big Mouth.
He's also on the show Big Mouth on Netflix.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, he's
That show's hilarious.
Yes, he's very, very, very funny individuals. The film also stars Seth Rogen, Will Arnett, J.K. Simmons, Flulaborg, and Eric Bana. Let's see, any other?
Love J.K.
Who's Eric
Simmons.
Bana?
Eric Bana played which guy was it? Hang on a second, sorry. He was Monterey Jack. He was Monty. He came in.
I
and
could
did
see that
the
happening.
Australian,
Eric Bana's Australian?
Uh huh.
Oh, jeez.
Or New Zealand? Let me see. Let me make sure.
He's from down under.
I didn't,
Australia, yep.
I didn't think he was.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was American all this time. He's over there hulking it out in Zealand.
Exactly.
Well, kind of the same as Cutie Pie from Moon Knight. I don't know where he's from.
He's American.
Oscar
homie.
Isaac? Yeah, Oscar Isaac's
He's American.
No, I know he's American, but it's
he's-
confusing.
They're like, now I know.
He's a master of accents.
Your dad the other day, he came over and he was like, you know what tripped me out? When I found out Idris Elba was British. He's like, he's just coming in like, bloody hell. I was
Did your
like,
dad think he was like from South Africa or something?
No, he
No,
thought
I
he was
think he thought he was
American
American.
because he was on The Wire. And on The Wire,
He's American.
He's American gangster.
Dude, that show's like, ooh.
That show's old, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
still widely regarded as one of the greatest shows.
I think it like kind of set the stage for like
for all the high
Sons of
quality
Anarchy and
HBO
all those
and stuff. Yeah,
you know?
Breaking Bad and
I
whatnot.
just thought that was so funny. He's like, it tripped me out.
Yeah.
That's like saying Morgan Freeman is Dutch or something.
Yeah,
It's me, I'm Morgan.
yeah, he
Freeman.
does.
Morgan Freeman.
It's hard to do his accent and a Dutch accent at the same time.
You can't be God and Dutch at the same time, Andre. Come on.
It's hard to do. Nope.
The Allstate guy on this.
Yes.
I just
yes.
was like, hey, that's the Allstate
He
guy.
played Zipper,
The little fly.
The fly, yeah.
which is very funny. His name is Dennis Haysbert.
Didn't they say that he never talked and then he comes
Yeah,
out as the Allstate guy?
On the show, right? So this movie is
He's
based on the cartoon. Yeah, he buzzed like a fly in the show. He's got this deep voice. Very funny, very funny.
I like how I don't even know that guy's name. I'm just like, yeah, it's the Allstate guy.
Yeah, Dennis Haysbert.
I didn't know he had a name.
I didn't know there was a
I
name
didn't know
associated.
he had a name.
All right, so first impressions. Luis, let's start with you.
It wasn't that bad, honestly, which is funny because I hate that cartoon to real life animation stuff.
Right.
Like, pick one or the other. Don't give me none of this fraz.
Choose a lane.
Yeah, but it was good. I can't say I hated it, so that's gotta count for something.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go next.
hate it.
No, I don't want you to go next.
Why?
Because we don't want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Emily, you next.
So I came in with zero expectations because I had no idea what this was going to be about. And I didn't watch Rescue Rangers, so I just don't know.
Sure.
And here's the funny thing. When Michelle and Andre watch a movie, Luis and I just sit honestly looking. Well, we're not looking for the text message, but Michelle will undoubtedly text us and be like, well, whatever. And she
Yeah.
tells us how she feels about it, which is fine. But
Right.
literally, she quoted me. Well,
Did.
it was a movie. So I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
she
come on.
did not like it. And so I was waiting to like hate it, right? And I disagree with Luis. I like the whole Roger Rabbit-y feel
Yes.
of like cartoons over
Which,
like
by the way, I did like it with Roger Rabbit,
Right.
but that's
Right.
an exception.
Okay.
I think I liked this because it was more updated, right? With like
More modern, for
more
sure.
more yeah. It was modern. I think the CG and everything, or was it considered CG
Yeah,
or just?
yeah, there's definitely CG.
It looked better, obviously, just
Right.
because of the time period. But the Easter eggs were fun.
Yes.
I was very much enjoying myself. But I think I liked it. I mean, I'm not saying I want to sit here and watch it again,
Word.
but like, it wasn't awful. You were making me so worried that I was going to be mad the whole time.
I'll go next.
Apparently, I'm the only one that didn't like it.
So my first impression is very similar to yours, Emily. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Like, I was laughing all the way through.
I was trying to
because
laugh with you. I was like,
This is so unbelievably far up my alley, you know?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't the hugest Chippendale Rescue Rangers fan, the show that came out in the 90s. I did watch it a fair amount, but, you know, from that era, I think Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles were more my jam. But
Yeah, Darkwing Duck.
yeah, dude. But the fact that this references that show, a show that I watched, and then also that it references like every single type of animation and style, and then also on top of that, all of the general Hollywood references and lifestyles that they are emulating and anthropomorphizing in this movie and in
pretty
movies
fun.
like Roger Rabbit. It's so fun to me, and I think it hit on a lot of levels. I would say the only downsides of it for me were like mostly to deal with like some of the plotting and script and some of the acting. Like in some spaces it felt like a bad kids movie, you know? But the fact that there was so much adult humor in there kept me going. But I think that if I was a kid and I didn't understand any of these references, I wouldn't have enjoyed this movie anywhere near as much as I did as a
Because it was
grown-up.
slow plot wise in a couple of spots, so I agree with you in that part.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the kids enjoying the whole henchman stuff.
Right.
Because they have no idea what they're saying or what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I think that guy was from Macbeth.
Macbeth. Which guy? The Sweet Pete?
No,
Or,
the other guy. The one who worked for Sweet Pete.
Let me see. Who was the other one? Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
His name was Bob the Warrior Viking. But I don't know if he's from something in particular.
There was like a Macbeth or maybe like one of those Hamlet-like movies like that had that nasty Polar Express.
I
Definitely did look like Polar Express.
I straight up thought he was like
Gimli.
a World of Warcraft like character. It was so bad.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seemed like it was.
All right, can I go now?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Hit us with it,
So
dear.
I didn't like it, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather watched Roger Rabbit again, for sure. It's weird because it's like I agree with what Luis was saying, like pick one or the other. I really don't. It's not my cup of tea. But then again, I like Enchanted, and then again, I like Roger Rabbit. So I think it's just not... This kind of humor and stuff is not for me, and also I didn't grow up watching cartoons. So,
right.
like, half the cartoon references, I'm looking at Andre like, who is that? I don't get it. Who's that person? Like, the whole Sonic thing, I did not get. The whole, just, there was, like, lots of things where I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
And so, if I can't relate to it, then I didn't like it, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up watching cartoons. I'm not a big cartoon person. Chip and Dale's fine, but they're not my favorite, you know?
Sure.
Like, were there funny moments? Yes. But am I going to watch this again? No. Like, it just wasn't... It didn't hit for me.
Right. Wasn't the business.
Like, it was over, and I was like, thank God. Like, I was like, are we done? Like, the whole time. And I didn't go into it being like, I'm not going to like this. I went into it going like, I'm not very excited because I don't particularly think I'm going to understand a lot of the references.
Right.
And once again, I didn't. So
So,
it's hard when you didn't
nailed
grow
it.
up watching cartoons and half the jokes are about other cartoons. And I'm looking at Andre like, can you tell me what that is? Because I don't know what's going on. And the storyline was kind of thin to me. But it was fine.
Right. Their little journey and adventure.
I think for like a Disney Plus original movie, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because some of the other Disney Plus original things have been like way
A little lackluster.
cornier or more like, I mean, even Disney Channel movies are corny, you know?
Right.
So I think like for that aspect, it was probably like pretty good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't like it. So I'm not going to have much to say about it.
I mean, yeah. And that's understandable. I think that was like not a huge problem that I had with it because obviously I enjoyed it.
It didn't feel Disney to me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like I didn't feel like I was watching a Disney movie.
I'd agree with you on that one.
I mean,
And that was like kind of bugging me. I don't know.
right.
Why?
It just didn't feel like a Disney movie.
Like in its.
I
it
didn't
wasn't
like the
wholesome
interpretation
enough.
of Peter Pan either. Like that was really annoying to me.
Well, I mean, dude, if you look at it like in the Roger Rabbit frame of mind, like, yeah, dude, Peter Pan's gonna grow old.
Right. He got old.
What are you gonna do with him?
got
He's
old.
gonna be pissed off
But
about
that's why
it.
I don't. Andre likes the thing where it's like, oh, the cartoons are in real life and they're actors and things like that. I don't like that.
Oh,
Like that doesn't.
That doesn't jive.
It doesn't. It's not my jam.
Yeah.
no.
I won't even lie. I was dying when they bootlegged them. I was dying, like Flounder's
I felt
face.
bad for Flounder.
Oh my God.
That part was funny. I was like, oh no, Flounder.
That was hilarious to me. In college, I watched quite a few, like not necessarily like bootlegs, but definitely like super low budget animation things.
Yeah.
Like I think there was like an animated Titanic movie that I watched.
Oh,
where
how did
follow
you come across this?
you follow like some mice that go on the Titanic and they have like a little Cinderella
What in the
style
world?
adventure or whatever, but it was really low budget and the boat starts talking at a certain point and you know it was just a bad movie. But
my
but
God.
all of the bootlegging stuff reminded me vividly of of this Titanic movie.
Oh
I
my
gotta
gosh.
find it.
So pretty much plot-wise, Chip and Dale meet as children in
Yes.
elementary school.
Yeah, all the beginning I liked. It was
Dale was like the new kid at school,
Right.
and
He
he
was
did a
lonely.
couple little jokes, and people didn't think they were funny. So he was eating by himself, and then lo and behold, there's another chipmunk at the school. His name is Chip. And he
He's a
came
monk.
up, and he's a monk in which you cannot buy the Vatican.
Right.
And and he comes in and is like, "Hey, you want to be my friend?"
You want to hang out? Can I sit here?
And Dale's like,
Yeah, and from there on, it was history after that. They become best buds. They grow up together. They do everything together, and they have this dynamic where Chip is kind of number one and Dale is kind of number two, right? Like he's
Like the silly side buddy.
Yes. Dale is kind of the sidekick, in their friendship. And so eventually they grow up and they get jobs in Hollywood and they become Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers after they sell their show to a big network. And then that show runs for 3 glorious seasons, right? They're on top of the world, and then everything comes crashing down around their ears. As Dale sets up a solo project where he's going to star in a show called Double O Dale, which is a spy show.
So the exact same thing he was already kind of on.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too different from Rescue Rangers, honestly. But Double O Dale is a solo show, just featuring Dale, and Chip is hurt by this, and when he realizes that Dale is going to go through with it, Dale isn't too worried. He's like, oh no, it's gonna be okay. The Chip and Dale is still gonna keep going. We'll still keep doing this, and I'll be able to do Double O Dale on the side. And then they cut to they're like Double O Dale doesn't make it past the pilot, and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is canceled immediately. And so from there, their life goes to the crapper. They don't have careers anymore.
They go their separate ways.
Yes, they go their separate ways. They don't talk
Chip
to each other anymore.
is like the mad one.
Right.
And Chip is, Dale is nostalgic.
Yes. Because Dale loved
I did like him
the
being
show.
at like Comic Cons and stuff. That was funny.
Yes. So we cut to the present, and Dale is at like a convention, right? At which he frequents a lot. He's going live for his followers on Instagram or whatever.
Luke Skywalker.
He
lives at conventions.
That's all right. Never mind. I know y'all. I'm not gonna defend Mark Hamill anymore. But
Good after his last performance.
but Dale is living that kind of life where he's at conventions all the time. He's
After he got his CG surgery.
right. He got a CG
That's ridiculous.
cosmetic surgery, so he looks like an Alvin and the Chipmunk now, as opposed to a cartoon chipmunk. And he's hanging out at his booth with Tigra from I think the Avengers cartoon, and then who else
Ugly
was there?
Sonic.
Ugly Sonic.
And Lumiere.
So this isn't the same Sonic that was with Jim Carrey, was it?
So the story behind Ugly Sonic is that they released a trailer for that movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, right?
The one with Jim Carrey.
With the one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And in that trailer, they had this version of
the
Sonic
teeth like that.
with he has teeth and he has small eyes and he has like realistic looking fur or whatever. And when that trailer got released, the fans were like, absolutely not.
he
This is
looked
not what
good.
Sonic will look like. And so that the trailer was released, like 6 months before the movie was set to come out. They delayed the movie. They redid like every CGI shot of Sonic in that movie to make him look more like the cartoon version of him.
Oh, and that's a good thing that they did.
Yes, and
because-
it is a good thing that they did it because now that Sonic the Hedgehog movie became a success. But
He
Ugly
had
Sonic,
human and teeth.
yeah, Ugly Sonic will just live on forever in our memory as being what almost was.
Yeah, but see, for people like me, where I was like, I don't get it,
Right.
and then you have to explain it to me. I'm like,
Yeah, that makes sense. But I
Kind
was
of makes it
dying.
interesting, though, that there's that much backstory to almost every one of these characters, which is pretty
Yes,
cool. Makes
yes,
it more
exactly.
deep. But then Lumiere was there.
Lumiere,
Yeah.
Lumiere's signing
I was like,
autographs,
oh man, Lumiere.
and he's like burning people's money on accident. He's
As
like,
they're giving him like a tip.
yeah, he's like, I needed that. That was funny. So we cut over to Chip. Chip is now an insurance salesman,
Oh,
right?
Jesus,
So
guy.
Makes sense.
He sells insurance. He's still an animated chipmunk, and he's just trying to forget all of his previous Hollywood life. He's doing pretty good as as an insurance salesman. He's been employee of the month a bunch of times, and everybody there seems to like him, and they invite him out to go for drinks and stuff like that after work or whatever. But he's always like, no, you guys, I can't. I gotta go home to Millie. We cut to his home.
Oh, Millie.
It was a woman.
Right,
Yeah, me
I
too.
thought it would be a wife or something like that.
And then like when I would see, like he goes in, it's quiet, puts everything down.
He's like, Millie, I'm home.
There's no woman. A dog comes up, and I'm all like, oh, dude, he's gonna find his girlfriend or wife or whatever with another chipmunk. Oh, and then I'm over here waiting and like, where's Millie? The damn dog. Get out of here.
Yeah, Millie's
Which
his
it
dog.
makes it funnier, but
Yeah,
still.
it made it funny.
I just need to throw it out there though that in the beginning when Chip and Dale become friends and they go to one of their houses, and then this when he goes to his house, it's killer.
It's a chipmunk-sized house.
Yes, it literally looks like the Hobbits, like
Right.
how small they are,
Yes,
like
exactly.
a fairy garden.
Exactly. But Millie is a full-sized, like,
Golden retriever
live
puppy.
action dog. Yeah. So she's a little cramped in there, I think.
But she's so cute.
Yeah. But his house is pretty nice, you know. And he's doing okay, insurance salesman.
You doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing all right out there. So let's
He
see.
ain't making enough to buy that house in California.
I mean, maybe he made it with that was his Chip and Dale money. You know, he bought that house outright, and now he's just
He go out when the
coasting.
market was
Yeah,
low.
yeah, exactly. So
Bought it like 6 or 7 years ago.
So he's watching TV. He sees a commercial for Alvin and the Chipmunks, that movie. That was a funny reference. I wasn't expecting in this movie there to be like a lot of non-Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they were
That's
really
why it didn't feel like a Disney movie to me.
but I think they were really going after that Roger Rabbit type of feel where it's just all animation is kind of blended together
Yeah.
in this world.
Well, Roger Rabbit doesn't feel like a Disney movie to me either.
Well,
so.
right. I mean they
And Roger was there at some point.
Yes, exactly. And they specifically had, you know, all these crazy contracts where Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse had to be on screen for the same exact amount of time so
Yeah.
that it was fair and stuff like that. I don't know if they had to go through all of that with this.
Maybe.
I don't know if they had to make a deal with Ugly Sonic to make sure he got
Was
enough
every
screen time or whatever.
other cartoon thing Fox though?
I don't believe
No,
so.
because
no.
there was like DreamWorks.
Right.
And there was
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff in here.
I don't know how they
from
did
all
all
kinds
that,
of
but-
studios. So, yeah, so they must have, you know, made some deals
Because
and
Sonic is Paramount.
right, exactly. So yeah, they went worked their magic to
Yeah.
get all these people in here. So he sees that he gets a call on the phone from Monterey Jack from the original
I like
cartoon. Yeah, he's the Australian one with the
Likes
big mustache,
Chase.
and he loves Chase. So Monty calls like, Chip, I need your help. Come on, boy, please. And
Eric Bana.
yeah, that's Eric Bana. So Chip goes over to Monty's place, and Monty, he's been a cheese fiend for the past 30 years, I guess, ever since he left the Chip and Dale show. So he's like, Chip, I got in deep with the Valley Gang.
Stinky
and
cheese.
I bought too much stinky cheese, and now I owe them a lot of money, and they're coming after me and stuff like that. So he's very paranoid.
Oh no, pause. I tried to look up Chippendales for like you know, all the contracts and stuff. And then I did get into the Chippendales contracts and all the legal stuff.
Oh, okay.
Terms of use. Go ahead.
So Monty is freaking out, right? He's got this cheese addiction, and he owes money to the Valley Gang. So he's worried that he's gonna get taken away, basically. Dale comes over at this point because apparently Monty called both of them, and this is the first time that Chip and Dale have seen each other in what seems like many, many, many years or whatever, right? So they.
Yeah, we can assume they're like middle age now, you know, like 30s,
exactly,
40s.
exactly. You know, they did the show when they were like in their late teens or something like that. So they see each other, and it's very awkward. There's a lot of tension there. But Dale's like, "Oh, hey, Chip, you're here! Oh my God, that's crazy! Is everything cool? You're fine? Everything's okie dokie artichokey?" And Chip was like, "Yeah, everything's okie dokie artichokey. I harbor no ill will towards you. I don't hate you about anything, and I'm not mad about our previous relationship at all," which is a lie.
Which is a lie.
So Monty tells them about the Valley Gang, right? He says they owe money to the Valley Gang. You know, I'm scared I'm gonna get bootlegged like they did to Flounder, right? So that
scene was really sad.
They cut to Flounder from The Little Mermaid.
I was dead.
You sound like Mickey Mouse, though. It's a genuine jingle hopper.
And yeah, Flounder's, he's just hanging out, living his life or whatever, and then he gets kidnapped and then bootlegged, which means that they change and warp his face so that he looks like a slightly different character, so they don't get like copyright infringement on them, and then they put him and force him to be in a bunch of other bootleg movies of The Little Mermaid.
So
the very small fish girl or something. Oh, it's very funny, very funny. We also learned at this point that Gadget from the show married Zipper from the show. She was a chipmunk and he was a fly, and now they have a bunch of weird chipmunk fly hybrid children.
Which reminded me of Shrek with like Donkey and the Dragon.
Yes, exactly. Very, very similar to that. Let's see here. So at a certain point, Chip is like, all right, I've had enough. Monty, you don't really need my help. I'm getting out of here. I'm gone. So he leaves. And at a certain point, like, Chip goes out and he's walking around and he's feeling all like dejected and sad, and he didn't want to have to run into Dale today. He walks past some movie poster signs. They got Batman versus E.T. on the billboard. I was dying at everything in the background. I loved it all.
Andre was really enjoying this movie, dude.
Yeah.
Did you like Dobby in Gucci? In the Gucci sign?
I don't think I saw that.
Dude, he got an
I saw that either.
upgrade from that sack to the Gucci suit, okay? I was
in there?
I don't
dead.
think I saw that.
That's so funny. See,
You didn't I pointed it out to you.
I might need to go watch this
I was
again
dead.
just to find some of the stuff in the background.
References.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not Gucci, man.
So as Chip is walking down the street feeling sad, Dale calls him and says, hey, you got to get back to Monty's apartment. Something bad has happened. He gets back there, and it's now a crime scene, right? The apartment has been trashed, and the cops are there. Monty has been kidnapped.
Who's the putty cop from?
The cop is played by he's played by J.K. Simmons.
No, but who is, like, what's that character?
Wait.
Gumby.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it's like a Gumby.
What was his
style
name?
character.
It was
Detective Putty, I believe.
Putty. Done.
Okay.
Which is very funny. But yes,
I was like, I don't know what that is.
J.K. Simmons, aka J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man.
Do you want to know what made me really laugh? Was that the first time you get like the view of the apartment building when Chip is going in, it looks like a full-size
A nice
building.
big apartment building.
And then when you come in the second time, it's like showing how small it is and how the freaking regular lady cop
Yes.
is like human size.
She's like staring into the 14th floor window or whatever.
She's
Like,
looking like she's in like a Barbie dream house or
yes,
something.
exactly. That's how fun sized all of the chipmunk style apartments are, and I guess they fit any kind of small cartoons. I don't know who else would live there. I can't think of any other small people. Anyway, so the detective is like, hey, we're probably not going to find your friend. It's a lost cause. We don't have any leads. There's nothing we can do. But
You're like, okay.
but the detective's partner comes in, and she's a human. Her name is Ellie, and she's like, hey, I'm actually a really big fan of Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and I'd love to help you guys out. And I think she gives them a lead. Let's see here. Yes, about a possible bootlegging factory. And if they can find that, then they might be able to find their friends. So Chip doesn't want to do it at first, but eventually he concedes because Dale kind of wears him down. And they decide to go out to the bootlegging factory and find Monty. So they go to literally the wrong side of the tracks. And they end up on Main Street, which I thought was hilarious.
I thought I was gonna die.
Basically just Disneyland Main Street. Did you get a kick out of this, Michelle?
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
Like I said, there were some things was fine.
Yeah, I
But it was still bootleggy.
Yes, it was hilarious. They were walking down Main Street. It looks just like Disneyland. But then Dale is like, "Oh, we're in the wrong side of town. I don't like this at all. This wholesomeness is all a front." And Chip is like, "What are you talking about? That man is selling like ice cream or whatever." It was like, it's a front for what did he say?
Chicken fights or something.
Yeah, Muppet fights. So funny. So
Stupid.
Eventually, they wind up at a little cheese shop, and the guy's like, "Hordy, hurdy, flirty, birdy."
I know. I thought he was the Swedish chef, but
I thought he was too.
he's not quite Swedish enough.
Yes, he's selling cheese, and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to buy some stinky cheese." Like, "You guys cops?" He's like,
Narcs.
"No." He's like, "All right, come on down." They go down to the black market cheese shop, and they start asking questions about Monty and possibly being able to find him. And he's like, "You guys gotta get out of here," or whatever. The cheese guy captures them and takes them to the Uncanny Valley.
Yes.
And the Uncanny Valley is where all of the CGI characters from like the early 2000s who
I thought this was very funny.
It looks
don't
like Sims.
Yes, exactly. They all look like Sims. So the Uncanny Valley, just in general terms, means like something that looks real but you can tell is completely not real, so I think it's a term that was developed for like robotics, right? They would make a robot that looked like a human, but because it was a robot and you could tell it wasn't a human, it became uncanny. So all these characters look uncanny.
I like the one that was just walking into the fire hydrant, like just kept going.
Just can't stop moving.
Because, I know you didn't play video games growing up, Michelle, but like there was always in those early games, there was always something that didn't make sense,
Like a
some
glitch.
glitch
Yes.
going on, and you're like, why is that bird halfway through that wall?
Yes, exactly. It's just
Like-
constantly breaking reality.
Yeah, it just keeps like hitting its head and flying, and
So they wind up at this factory, and the door is opened, and Seth Rogen is here. Like, it is undeniably Seth Rogen, right?
which was funny because, it's obviously him, but it's like a really crappy version of his face.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's one of these Sims style characters. He's a dwarf. A dwarf. What is his name?
Bob.
Yes, Bob the Warrior Viking. And he's looking right at them, but he's not looking at them at all because his eyes can only face like in one direction, which is funny.
And he does have Polar Express eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated that movie so much. It was so creepy.
Yeah, that's definitely that Uncanny Valley look, right? That like, oh my God, what did they do to Tom Hanks's face? So he invites them in, and he's kind of telling them about the front that is this factory. So, well, we just break down unsold merch and turn it into porta potties.
It's like Shrek shampoo or something.
Yeah. All the Shrek shampoos and stuff like that. And this place has been run by a guy named Sweet Pete. So
Andre and I assumed it was going to be Pete.
I figured
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat was going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, like
in
Mickey
this
Mouse
movie.
Pete.
As soon as they said Sweet
Right?
Pete, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, here comes Pete. I can't wait. But we get into this guy's office. He turns the chair around, and it's Peter Pan. But he's old. He's
I won't even lie, that was very funny to
it was
me.
very funny. He's hairy. He's balding.
Yeah, his hairy arms.
And he's voiced by Will Arnett, who you might remember as
Batman.
from the Lego Batman movie and the Lego movie. Very funny.
Will Arnett.
Yeah. So he got dejected and cynical as he got older, right? He was in the movie Peter Pan, and then that movie came out, and after that he couldn't get any other roles or whatever.
And apparently this is a nod to the actual child actor who
Yes.
played Peter Pan.
Bobby Driscoll
Yes.
played Peter Pan, and then he grew up and he kind of became an alcoholic, and he died pretty early. He didn't live a glorious life. Unfortunately.
glamour.
Yeah. So eventually, as Peter Pan got older, he got into bootlegging, right? So he made a bootleg movie called Flying Bedroom Boy, and it made him a lot of money. I'm dying over here, you guys.
Dude, that could easily go the wrong way really, really quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Very easily. But it worked out for him. So he started this whole like bootleg empire where he takes in these older characters and can change their faces and make new movies out of them. One of his henchmen is the Coca-Cola polar bear.
Oh my god.
I
like
remember
the
that guy.
Polar bear.
He was cool.
Yeah, he's very cool.
I kept thinking he was maybe from Zootopia at first, like one of the polar bears, and then I finally put it together.
It was the
Coca-Cola bear.
little vest that gave it away. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yes, the little lederhosen that he's wearing or whatever. So Chip and Dale realize that they are in a dangerous situation. So they get out of there. They flush themselves down a toilet to escape. Chip really fights hard to not have to go down that toilet, but he does eventually.
I like Chip.
Because Seth Rogen's big old head comes in.
Yeah. They flush themselves down into the sewers, and they get separated. And Chip flies.
Hold on, stop.
Yeah,
They
go
try
ahead.
to. This was killer. Adeline almost lost it. They're like trying to grab onto anything they can in the sewer system, and they grab onto like what looks like hair, and it was like a Rapunzel doll that was like stuck in the sewer,
and her hair just kept on coming out of her head. One of those unsold merch toys, I guess.
That's a creepy doll if it did that.
I just thought that was so funny.
I'm sure that existed though, right?
Probably.
Rapunzel doll.
And the head popped off. I was like,
Yeah.
So they get separated and they eject from the sewers into like the LA River area, right? And Chip comes out first and he's all wet and gross and unhappy, and he sees Dale lying face down in water, and he's like, Dale, oh no, Dale, are you okay? Please, Dale, it's okay, you're gonna be okay. And Dale walks behind him. He's like, what's going on, Chip? And he's like, oh wait, so what's this? And they flip it over, and it's a 00 Dale action figure that didn't get sold or whatever. Very funny.
Too much.
So from here, they go to talk to the detective that they talked to before, Ellie Harper. She tells them about a Russian bathhouse that they can go to.
This part was funny to me.
I believe they also said something like while you guys were away, there was like another attack or something like that. I wrote down the sentence, Paw Patrol attacked Sergeant Henderson. They say he'll never have kids.
Oh, and so that was when, so she was explaining how she got discredited as a police officer.
That's right.
So pretty much she had like, it's when Peppa Pig got...
Where I guess she like the
it was too much for me.
Something.
Well, no, I thought I was gonna die. Peppa Pig got, what's the word? Kidnapped or something.
Yes,
and she had to like rush Nickelodeon Jr. or something after she got like an anonymous tip, and the Paw Patrol like freaking
Paw Patrol came down on her, attacked everybody.
I just thought that was very funny.
It was very funny.
See, they even got Nickelodeon in the
exactly.
In the bag.
Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff over here. So they sneak into the Russian bathhouse. They go in as plumber rats, right? They at this point, Chip keeps telling Dale how much he hates it when cartoon characters rap in their new movies, right? Like every single new movie, there's got to have a rapping little cartoon, and it's just the worst. It's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Dale, on the other hand, he loves rap, and he will rap at any given time.
Was that supposed with that snake? Was that snake supposed to be the live action Caw?
That's what I was thinking at first, but the snake's name is, where is it? DJ Herzogarnarach, and he's played by Flula Borg, who is a very funny.
I don't know, but I thought that scene was funny.
Yes, so the snake comes in and he's a DJ, right? So he's like, "Oh, Chip and Dale, I know you guys. I did a remix of the Disney Afternoon theme songs and stuff like that." So he starts laying down this beat of like old cartoons, and they come up with this plan to rap and as a distraction while Chip goes to get the, what is it that they're looking for at this point?
The
bracelet
step tracker.
Yes, the step tracker, so that they can find out the location of Sweet Pea. So Dale is rapping terribly. He's not rapping very well.
I don't eat whale.
That's all you got that rhymed with Dale. Okay.
He's like,
I'll never eat whale.
He's like, once you say it, you can't go back.
It was so stupid.
I'll never eat whale.
So he starts doing that, and then Chip starts getting into the rap as well, and they do something pretty musically okay for a time there. But the chipmunk
and then they
rap,
start their chipmunky things.
Yes.
Where they're saying the same thing at the same time.
Right, and they go for a while. And now they're like best friends again, basically, right? They retrieve the Fitbit from Sweet Pete. in order to get his location data. They send that to the cops, and the cops are going to send a SWAT unit to the location that they're at. Let's see here. Chip and Dale accidentally start and trap themselves in the bootlegger machine, right, when they get to this location. Chip goes through it. Wait, do they both go through it?
No.
It's just
Chip.
And Chip, he narrowly avoids some lasers, but it does get him in the end, and one ear is turned into a floppy Snoopy ear, which is very silly.
Who made Snoopy?
Snoopy is like something
CBS?
yeah, CBS or something like that.
I don't know. They have it at Knott's Berry Farm, but I don't know it.
Right? Yeah, I don't know who actually owns it. What gigantic corporation or whatever.
Paramount?
Maybe.
Might be Paramount.
Yeah, that sounds right. They get out of the bootlegging machine, and they see all of these like cartoon artifacts on the wall. That
parts.
Yeah, all these parts, and included in all these parts is Monty's mustache. So they know that Monty has been through this machine and been irrevocably changed in whatever way. But Sweet Pete is not there, I don't think.
No.
The cops come in, they shut the whole operation down or whatever. But the bad guys got away, and Monty's not there either. So this is when Chip and Dale have an argument between each other, right? They're no longer best friends. It didn't last very long. Let's see here. Oh, I wrote down the line, this whole place smells like almond butter and gasoline. The Chip and Dale cologne. So they know that Monty has been here because he's the only one that wears the Chip and Dale cologne. They go to Ugly Sonic for help.
Oh my gosh.
After they realize
so
that
ugly.
after they realize that
He said he works for the FBI.
Yes.
Or he was doing a show with the FBI.
Yeah, he said he's got a new show with the FBI.
And nobody believed him.
Which I don't blame them for. I didn't believe him
Sonic,
either. Dude. Sweet Pete has shown up here at the convention where Ugly Sonic is to try to catch Chip and Dale. And they're running through, and at this point, they try to disguise themselves. So Chip goes and grabs an outfit, and it just so happens to be an Indiana Jones outfit, which looks exactly like the outfit that he had on in the cartoons.
Adeline was like, "It's Mindiana Jones."
Indiana Jones. That's very cute.
You remember we used to call Obi-Wan Kenobi on my Kenobi?
Yeah,
Kenobi on my Kenobi.
And Spider-Man.
That's pretty good. Kenobi on my Kenobi is not bad. That's what they should have named the show.
Kenobi on my Kenobi.
At one point, Seth Rogen, the dwarf, is chasing them, but he gets tripped up and distracted by a bunch of other animated Seth Rogen characters. Like there's one from Monsters vs. Aliens and one's from...
and Baloo.
Yes, Baloo's there as well.
Yeah, but he gets like inundated in his face, and it's all like his animated characters.
Oh.
It's all other characters that Seth Rogen has voiced in the past, which is very funny. Oh, excuse me. Lumiere saves them from getting attacked in an elevator with some fire. That was nice. But Chip ends up getting kidnapped. So they had thought that the girl detective Ellie was a mole and had ratted them out to Sweet Pete, but it turns out
only Chip thought that.
Right. Chip had that thought, but it turns out that she wasn't the mole. The real mole was Detective Putty the entire time. So he's the bad guy. Let's see here. He had derailed the entire investigation, and Chip gets kidnapped by Sweet Pete and Captain.
And they're gonna bootleg him.
Yeah, and they're gonna bootleg him hard, you know. So Dale tries to figure out how to rescue Chip, but his car won't start. he eventually goes to get help from Gadget and Zipper. He recruits them, and Gadget gets to show up in the movie for the first time, which I have been waiting for her. I liked Gadget on the show a lot. She was cool. She was the smart one. She flew all the planes, and she was a baddie. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was a hot chipmunk, dude.
And Luis gets mad when I say Disney dads for things, but he thinks a chipmunk's hot.
How do you
Dude,
chipmunk
it's
shoot
the
yourself?
technicality of it.
But I can't say Mufasa is a Disney dad.
No.
Mufasa is a whole lion. All right. At least Gadget is an anthropomorphized. You know, she's standing on two legs and stuff. You know.
No.
It's no different.
She can potentially be human if I were a chipmunk.
All right.
Anywho,
Done.
she married a fly, so I guess it doesn't matter for any of us.
Yeah, she married a
Andre
fly.
literally just pulled up like a sexy picture of her, and I cannot. I cannot.
She cutie.
Gadget baby.
I cannot, Andre.
He's mad at my Disney dad thing.
So,
Because you give dads to things that don't have children, Michelle.
Dennis Quaid had
It's
children,
an expression.
and Mufasa definitely had children.
Yep.
that's
You guys
true.
weren't talking
He
about
had lots
those-
of children, let's be real.
You were not talking about Mufasa.
Dude, I just was talking about Mufasa.
No, but when you were referring to Disney Dad a couple times.
Dennis Quaid. He had Lindsay Lohan. Twice.
Yeah, well, I didn't argue against that one, calling him a Disney Dad. There was a few that I did argue where it was like, dude, they don't have kids.
All right.
Why are they a Disney Dad?
All right.
Because they are.
So
Can't be a dad without no kid.
Yes, you can.
Zipper
You're
and
just
Gadget.
a Disney man.
Okay.
Zipper and Gadget help Dale to go rescue Chip from this factory where he's being held. Chip goes through the machine again, but he manages to get rid of his Snoopy ear. Let's see here. The machine explodes and turns Peter Pan into a crazy amalgamation of monsters.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
I couldn't even really pin down everything that he turned into. I know that
he had a Wreck-It Ralph arm.
Wreck-It Ralph arm. He had a
He
Woody
was
leg.
that cat from... Can't remember where the cat's from.
Well, okay, so this is what Adeline said.
Okay.
The cat had like the creepy face from the bad guy in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But she's like, it's Marie's hair. Like
The
it had,
bow.
it
It had the
had,
bow.
yeah, it
Yeah,
had
but
like
that cat
the
was
little
on
hair.
the Disney thing as like
Rescue
a
Rangers.
villain.
Right. Yeah. On the Rescue Rangers.
Oh.
Which they had showed at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so she was convinced.
Transformers leg.
Yes, he had an Optimus Prime leg. Next to his
Woody's
Woody leg.
leg.
And then he had like a gun. Was that like
Mega Man? No, that was a cannon.
yeah, it was a cannon. I was thinking that it was like Emperor Zurg from Toy Story 2.
Maybe.
He shot like the balls or whatever. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's this combination of monsters, monster bad guys or whatever, and he's chasing them down. Captain Putty runs away.
Oh, I was thinking it was the cat when they turn Yzma into a cat.
Oh, that little
Kind of
fluffy
looks like
white
that cat.
Maybe.
Maybe. Actually, those models might be very, very similar now that I think about it.
I just thought it was funny that
And
she was
cat.
like, "Mom, it's Marie," and I was like, "Oh, I just wouldn't have thought of that."
The top of the hair does seem like it's in now.
Yeah. So they run through the bootleg movie studio, which they thought had been like somewhere overseas this entire time, but it turns out it was just a different spot in Hollywood or whatever.
And I won't even lie, when they went across the movies, it made me feel like the Zootopia part where he's outside and he's the little weasel,
Yes.
Wesselton.
Yeah.
Wesselton.
He's selling all the bootlegs.
They go through the Pooge, Pooge the honey bear or something like
Oh
that.
my
Oh
God.
my God. I was like, what the?
And those characters all are voiced by Jim Cummings, who does do the Winnie the Pooh and Tigger voices and stuff like that.
They were
also run-
so creepy.
They also run through like a Simpsons bootleg.
And Aladdin.
Yes, and Aladdin, which is and
That actually has real Pete.
yes, Pete the cat does make a cameo here as I think he is Aladdin.
Yeah,
like
he's
riding
Aladdin.
on carpet. It doesn't make any sense. Ellie the detective, she locks herself in a storage closet to get away from Putty, but he does like the scariest thing in the entire movie, and he just slides under the door as Putty, and then he has this crazy fight scene where he fights her as Putty, and he's like being all stretchy and stuff like that. He's very Gumby
It was
about
creepy.
it. It was creepy.
I thought it was more creepy when they put the thing over his head and he like,
yeah, like the basket.
and he like
yeah, he
split
like-
apart
yeah, he
like,
like,
fries.
What's that stuff?
I sliced my finger the other day.
Yeah.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He Play-Dohed himself through the.
Like where you used to push it through the thing.
Ugh.
Like
Yeah.
and it would come like
It
hair.
was gross, and then
Like troll.
he pulled it off and like sucking himself back together or whatever.
Ew.
Eventually, she grabs a fire extinguisher off the wall and freezes him solid, and then commits a little bit of murder when she pushes him over and he breaks into a billion pieces.
Well, he unfreezes later.
Yeah.
He
A
deserves
little
it.
bit of murder.
Chip and Dale run away on the docks, but the Peter Pan monster, chases after them. And then they are saved at the last second by Ugly Sonic and the FBI. He actually did have a relationship with them, and they come in on helicopters and save the day. At the last moment, the monster is shooting a big old bullet at Chip, and Dale dives in front of it and takes the bullet for him. And while he's like lying on the ground, Chip explains to him, he said, all these years I let you feel like the second banana because I wanted to feel like the first banana, but really we were the same banana or whatever.
I cannot.
Was that a
So
reference
ridiculous.
from something?
I don't think so. I
No.
think second banana is a
It's a
saying.
phrase.
Yeah, it's an old phrase.
I thought it was fiddle.
Second fiddle.
Yeah.
It's probably a couple
Second
phrases
banana.
like that.
I've just never
Same
heard
thing.
it called like first and second.
Right. Yeah.
But do you?
Yeah. So they are able to reconcile. Dale wakes up. He wasn't killed by this giant bullet. And they open a storage container and find Monty and a whole bunch of other previously bootlegged characters in there.
So gross.
Monty has been turned into Dumbo. He now
Because of the ears.
He now has gigantic ears, and he's wearing the circus outfit and everything.
Pretty funny.
He can kind of fly a little bit, which is weird. And there's a bunch of other characters there. Was there like a Stitch or a?
There was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Bigfoot from the Goofy movie
Yes.
was in the front.
Bambi was in there.
Yes, Bambi. There was like a blue Bambi and stuff like that. And
Phineas from Phineas
That
and
was
Ferb
the-
had
that
like
was
a
the-
actual Dorito head.
That's the one I was gonna say.
that's hilarious. Yeah.
'Cause his mom was in it too at some point. I don't remember where, but
Oh, the mom from Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, I mean, there's characters all over this movie. But anyway, the all of the Rescue Rangers are now reunited. Monty, Dumbo is there, Chip and Dale are there, and then Gadget and Zipper with his deep voice are there.
I like Zipper.
And they all get to hug and hang out together once again. And that is basically the end of the movie. They go
No,
on.
they were like, they say something about like, yeah, they're gonna like reboot the song. It's gonna be like slow and
Oh, that's
serious. or
right.
whatever.
By some crazy pop star.
Chip and Dale.
It's gonna play over the credits, and then so that's exactly what happens. A Post Malone, Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger song.
That was Post Malone.
Mm-hmm. It was Post
I'm trying to figure out who it was.
That's
Too much.
y'all.
Yes, and then the credits play, and then there's like a montage of them hanging out and having fun afterwards. But that is the end of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
and then the cutscene,
Oh, was there a scene? I don't think did we watch?
the Darkwing Duck part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The post credit scene where what happens? I can't even remember.
There,
Darkwing Duck came on and was like, what about my reboot?
yeah, they were like at
Dude, Darkwing Duck is the business, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm so down and ready for the dark and gritty Darkwing Duck reboot.
Are they gonna make one?
Probably
Oh,
not,
man.
but I want them to. You know,
You misleading, don't you?
I want it to happen.
well, the movie was misleading.
Let's manifest it into existence.
That term creeps me out, man.
It says, as the team departs, Dale convinces them to film a Rescue Rangers reboot, which is later released to great success. So yeah, that's the end of the movie. Overall, I liked it a lot. Let's see what the internet thinks of it. On Rotten Tomatoes, this film actually has an 80% on the tomato meter.
Really?
Yeah, on the
Dang.
audience score has an 81%. The critics' consensus says, sometimes some reboots fall through the cracks, but Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers picks up the slack with a fast, funny film that almost never fails. There's also an audience consensus which says, it may not be a new Disney classic, but Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers brings back a pair of beloved characters for a fresh round of family-friendly fun. So yeah.
And I guess I just,
Dale.
like I said, I think it's just because it, like, none of the references I
Yeah,
understood.
it didn't speak to you.
So it didn't hit with me.
Yeah.
Do you have a number?
6.
All right.
Like,
6
I
out of
don't,
10.
yeah, I'll give it a 6. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah,
Luis.
Like I said, I didn't hate it, so I'll give it a 7.
for sure.
Andre.
I think I'm gonna go with like a It's like a high 7, like a 7.8, 7.9, somewhere around there. I like this movie a lot. Like I said, it speaks to me greatly. But I think I would have trouble like showing this to a kid unless I know that kid is like super into cartoons and has watched a myriad of varied stuff, so that they could get a fair amount of the references. So it's not necessarily the best kids movie, but in terms of being a movie for 30-year-old me.
Yeah. Emily?
I'm going to say like a 7.5. It was interesting, and I liked all the references. I liked that it like same thing kind of spoke to me. I like seeing like old stuff rebooted,
Yeah. Especially in like fresh and funny ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only reason I really let Adeline watch it was because she came out and she's like, "Mom, it's Chippendale, look." And I think she saw like commercials for it.
Gotcha.
Probably.
And
yeah.
She's like, "I like Chippendale, Mom. Can we watch?"
Well, and
and
like
so-
you said, she probably didn't understand.
No, she didn't understand any of the references, but
Right.
it was cute to watch her see the things that she knew.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they're dressed as Moana. Look.
Right.
Like she got like
Flounder.
those types of things.
Yeah.
Did you find Ash Ketchum?
No. She goes, "What happened to Flounder?" It was
my
very
gosh.
funny.
Poor thing. Overall, do you think she liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in a weird place right now where she's enjoying old stuff.
Okay.
Like I think I don't know. I just think it's interesting that like right now her favorite what do you call it? Her favorite princess is Aurora.
Oh.
Yeah, you said she was watching
Oh,
like the
Sleeping
older
Beauty.
princess movies.
Uh-huh.
Old
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Because she's a little bit older now.
Yeah, Olivia's a Cinderella.
Okay.
And that's not usually like what little ones pick.
Right.
It was like Moana for a long time.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
but now they're a little bit older,
But that's good. Like we've said on this podcast before, like those older movies definitely stand the test of time.
Yeah, they're still good.
Even though there are newer animation styles and stuff like that, those ones still hit with the kiddies. Oh, excuse me. So yeah,
I
overall,
think that was the cool part of this one too, is that it kept the old animation style next to the CG.
Right, yes.
Next to the humans, and it didn't look awful.
yeah, the movie looked pretty good overall. And when they first announced that they were gonna do a Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie in like 2022 or whatever, whenever they originally announced it before the first trailer came out, I was like, okay, so they're gonna do an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie where they CGI them up and they go on an adventure and they reunite the band back together or whatever.
Yeah.
But this I found to be very, very inventive and fun, and I think taking them down that Roger Rabbit style of movie was probably the best choice for these characters.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that a straight-laced Chippendale thing would have
Thank you.
hit with a large audience necessarily. So I think they did a smart move in making this.
Similarly, Alvin and the Chipmunks is so not my cup of tea.
Right.
So same. I'm glad that
Alvin
we
and
didn't
the
go that way.
Chipmunks?
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
My younger sister used to watch that all the time.
No, not my thing.
Yep.
Didn't they sing that song?
I hate him too.
So that is it for our review
Yeah.
of Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Next episode of the
suckling
Walt
on
Vault.
some.
Oh, poor little Freddy over there is sticking his little tongue out
It's like choking on his tongue.
in
Is
his
that-
sleep.
I'm sorry. Our puppy is so cute.
Puppies is cute.
Yeah, right.
On the next episode
Whatever, Elise.
of the Walt Vault, we are jumping back into Star Wars with the final prequel movie. Actually, I guess it's not the final prequel. Wait, did we do Solo? Yeah, we did Solo.
Yeah.
And we did Rogue One. We've done all the prequels. All the prequel movies. We are going to be watching Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Woohoo!
Can't wait.
Oh, yes.
Sounds good.
It's going to be a dark-sided time. I can't wait. Here we go.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so that is going to be quite fun.
I have the high ground.
Yeah, dude.
And again,
You don't want to not
like a
have that high
brother to
ground.
me. I literally could quote that whole.
Okay, you'll lose
scene.
a leg or two. So come check us out for that. In the meantime, you can keep up with us on social media. We are at the Walt Pod. As I mentioned before, you can go there on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Let us know what you thought of Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and also let us know what entity you would buy with all the money in the world. I still want to know. Emily, you got anything?
She's like, no.
I honestly sat here trying to figure it out, and
That's
I
good.
just
Emily has what she needs in life. Okay, there's nothing that
That's
she
true.
wants to
You
buy.
have, I forgot you didn't even answer.
well, I'm glad you forgot.
You got everything you need. You don't
Oh,
need
so
nothing
much.
else.
I got everything I
Yes,
need. I don't need no
questions,
Catholic church. I don't need no big statue.
You don't need no Playmobil?
No Playmobil. What did Luis get?
The Chateau Noir.
Yeah, he got the
Chateau
painting.
Noir.
Oh, you know what? You should buy something so that all your health care is free.
Canada.
Yeah, buy Canada.
Thanks, Canada.
Buy Canada.
Universal healthcare sounds great. I like that, Michelle, because she knows I'm an expensive bee. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that adds up, man.
Right.
I know.
Buy Canada.
I meet my high deductible every year in January. Okay.
And every year you're like, oh man, I didn't even make it this far in January this year.
Last year it was February, and this year just straight up
That was
January 8th.
January. Yeah.
See if you can make it past New Year's next year. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
We better, because that's the end of the year.
Yeah, damn, jeez.
Well, my deductible's met by that point.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying January 1st. You know.
Oh, January 1st, that's the
Yeah.
first day? What was we doing on New Year's Eve? We was getting cray then.
Getting crunk out here.
Oops.
You know, getting bug wild. You can support us by making sure you are subscribed on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the
YouTube.
subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can know when we drop new videos. You can also support us by going to patreon.com/thewaltvault, where we put up a little bit of extra content. Oh, sorry.
Is that distracting you?
I
Is
heard
it the sink
I
or the
heard a
washer?
noise.
My dishwasher.
Dishwasher got me.
He's all,
I was like, whoa, what's
we
happening?
don't have one of those in our
I
house.
thought there was a flood in here. What was I saying? Yes. Patreon.com/thewaltvault. For a very small price, you can get a little bit of extra content doled out to you. I think that has been it for this week. We will see you guys next time for some Star Warsy goodness. You have anything else?
Can I buy the Disneyland park
Oh.
Yeah.
in California Adventure? Can I buy the
I
Anaheim?
would say
You want to buy the
Parks?
Disneyland Resort.
Yeah, like the resort itself.
Oh, she's now the CEO.
yeah.
She's now Bob Chapek.
I'm just saying I could do a better job, okay? Okay.
Like not charging you for stuff they used to have for free.
Lower some prices, dog. Can you hook it up? Like,
I will hook it
Passes
up.
back.
Greedy.
Oh my gosh, you should hear the conversation Luis and I are having about what we're going to do in Disneyland in July. Like,
With like lightning lane.
Genie, yeah, like the Genie and
Genie
the
Plus,
such and such.
Lightning Lane.
Used to be
Whack.
free. It used to be free. First,
Yeah,
well,
Luis
it used
is-
to only be on paper. I remember the first time I took you to Disneyland, and I was like, "So we run to this ride, we get a
Right.
fast pass, then we run
Put the
over
ticket
here."
in the box.
And you were like, "What?" And I'm like, "This is what we do."
Yeah.
And then when it came out on the phone, I was like, "Wow, so much easier."
Yeah.
And then they started charging you $10 to do it on the phone. I was like, "Okay, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
$10." Now it's a bunch of bull.
Bunch of bull, dude.
Luis literally doesn't want to do it, and I'm over here like, but
You have
Don't
to
we
do
ha-
that.
don't we
charge
have
you-
to do
They're
it?
gonna charge
You
you
do.
to get to pre-order your food ahead of time.
No,
They need to quit that, man.
they won't do that.
Like if you're honestly making up revenue to help every single person who really struggled, then fine.
Includes all your pass photos.
Forget stockholders, forget all that. Look at the people who you had to
Right.
lay off.
People who are working here.
If that's why you're doing it, then I'll
Uh-oh.
shut
We
my
got him
mouth.
started. We better end this
All the
episode.
performers.
Their minimum
Better not be
wage.
doing it
Luis
for
is
greed.
so mad.
We're coming for you, Bob Chapek. All right?
Nobody likes you, Bob.
I just bought
Oh, that's
the
right.
parks.
That's right. We're good now.
Emily's bringing fast passes back.
That's right. Get ready, you guys.
for free.
End
Oh,
this already
wait.
before I keep going.
That's it for this week, you guys. See you
Dang.
next week for some Star Wars goodness. The vault is now closed.